You're listening to the Cool CLE Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Cool CLE Show, brought to you by CoolCleveland.com, putting you in touch with cool events, people, news, and neighborhoods in the Cleveland region. This week, we're talking vegan food. Did you know that 88% of Americans surveyed by the National Turkey Federation eat turkey on Thanksgiving? That's 46 million turkeys eaten at each Thanksgiving and 22 million at each Christmas dinner. And meanwhile, according to research by GlobalData, there's been a 600% increase in people identifying as vegans in the U.S. in the last 3 years. Many mainstream health organizations are recommending a more plant-based diet, including the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee, the American Institute for Cancer Research. Even Walmart, the world's largest retailer, is asking its suppliers to offer more plant-based products. So, as we head into the holidays, you may be looking for a more ethical or healthy non-meat option for your upcoming Thanksgiving or Christmas dinners. Or maybe you have a friend or family member that you need to cater for. Never fear. We've got Justin Gorski, founder and head chef at Cleveland Vegan Café and Catering, to tempt you with some really easy modifications to traditional holiday dishes that are vegan and vegetarian friendly. So stay tuned. But first, here's some events I think should be on your calendar. It's Black Friday event at Brittany's Record Shop on Fleet Avenue on November 23rd. From 8 a.m., you can pick up exclusive record store deals and some of Cleveland's top selections of hip-hop, reggae, and soul. Santa is at the Great Lakes Mall in Mentor through to Christmas Eve. And if photos with Santa just aren't going to cut it this year, you could opt for a photo with Krampus at the Black Market on November 25th. Krampus is this half-goat, half-demon who during the Christmas season punishes children who have misbehaved, in contrast with good old St. Nick, who rewards the well-behaved children. Adults, kids, and even fur babies are welcome, and you can get a very unique photo for only a $5 suggested donation. You can join Larchmere Merchants Association as they celebrate the kickoff to the holiday season on November 23rd and 24th. They'll have free horse and buggy rides from 12 to 4 p.m. both days, carolers, hot chocolate, coffee, and cider to keep you warm while you're shopping in this very unique and eclectic neighborhood. The House of Blues is putting on a Queen tribute night with local acts Tim Moon and Uptight Sugar on November 23rd. You can celebrate Small Business Saturday with the Westside Flea in North Olmsted on November 24th. They've got food trucks, handmade gifts, antiques, vintage clothing, art, live music, even alpacas, so make sure you check that out. Also on the 24th, it's Winterfest at the Cleveland Public Square. Santa, ice skating, they're going to have a kids village, there's gourmet food trucks, plenty of shopping, and of course the tree lighting. Marcus Allen Ward, the Vindies, the Ohio City Singers, among others are booked for live entertainment. The Welshly Arms are in town with support from the Whiskey Hollow and the Blue Stones at the House of Blues on November 24th. If art, music, unity, alcohol, and coffee are things that appeal to you, then you should head down to the Magellan on November 24th for Creation. That's an event showcasing local talent like singer Alyssa Boyd and the Robin Blake Sound Experiment, as well as artists and photographer exhibits. All the artists are from the Cleveland-Akron area, and the proceeds from Creation will benefit the LGBT Center of Cleveland. A musical memorial to legendary guitar player Glenn Schwartz, who died this month, is scheduled at the Beachland Ballroom on November 25th. They're going to have speakers and performers who Schwartz played with and or taught, and it's free and open to the public. Also kicking off on November 25th through to New Year's Eve, you can view nearly 1,000 nativities from all over the world at historic Kirtland's Visitor Center on Chardon Road. There's an evening of jazz happening at the Bop Stop on November 26th for the Cleveland State University Jazz Showcase. The bands will be performing original arrangements as well as jazz standards. The Cedar Lee Theater in Cleveland Heights is showing Superman to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the movie that made a legend come to life. They've got showings on November 25th and 27th. And this band, Wildflowers, will be at Stella's Music Club on November 30th, along with Armstrong Bearcat and First Defenders. This four-piece from Cleveland believes in the healing powers of authentic songwriting, and this is one of their original tracks called Dream On.
You trained me dry for your selfish high. My heart may never open back up. Dream on, dream on. I think I lost myself that day. Dream on, dream on. I'll find a better man
That was Cleveland's Wildflowers with Dream On. They'll be at Stella's Music Club on November 30th. We're quickly approaching the holidays, and for some people, they might want to make a slightly different choice this holiday season, whether making some ethical choices themselves in what they choose to eat, or maybe they've got somebody with some dietary restrictions coming for dinner, for Thanksgiving dinner. So we've got Justin from Cleveland Vegan, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about some of those alternatives for our Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you so much, Justin, for joining us.
Absolutely, Jay. And I was just thinking to myself, my ethical decision for the holidays is to not spend time with my family. I'm kidding. I joke. But yes, that's that could be an ethical choice as well.
Just to abstain from the family altogether. Well, I guess, okay, we talk about abstaining. Let's really sort of define what a vegan is, because I'm a vegetarian myself. I'm an ovo-lacto vegetarian, so I do eat eggs, I do eat dairy, but I'm always asked, as soon as I say, oh, I'm a vegetarian, the first thing out of people's mouth is, oh, like, what's that? What do you not eat? What do you eat? So let's define what a vegan is.
Sure, and that's a great question. We get a lot of people that come into the shop and think veganism is a lot of different things that it's not either. So we do a lot of explaining to folks. But really, in just basic terms, just being vegan means that you don't consume any animal products, so such as eggs, any meat, any dairy. Those are kind of the big three right there. Obviously cheese and milk are the other big ones. I particularly think bacon. People have a hard time thinking they can go through life without bacon. But yeah, and really that's just like that's the basic thing. Sometimes people also don't do honey as well. Honey is kind of one of the questionable things. We do not do any honey at the shop, so we try to stay away from all animal products and byproducts when we make our food.
And for some people, it extends beyond just what they put in their bodies, but also what they wear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's really often an ethical choice for vegans, is it not? Or I guess it could be some health reasons too, but usually ethics kind of drive the choice there.
Right. And you're right. There are a lot of reasons why people choose to be vegan. Some don't have a choice, like you said. It's health concerns. They're allergic to, any dairy or eggs or things like that. And there are definitely many ethical issues. I'm sure there's there's many movies out that can tell you all about that. Um, and right, it's you don't wear leather shoes, you don't wear a leather belt, you don't wear, gosh, there's so many things. I think even candles can be made with
Mhm.
animal byproducts, or even some of like lotions. And even the other day I saw like a conditioner that had egg whites in it or something. So people can, it's up to them. And sometimes people don't like these products that are tested on animals as well, and things like that. At our shop though, it's Cleveland Vegan. We don't really ask anybody. We don't ask anybody any questions, and we don't preach. We
Yeah.
just come in and eat, and it's just food.
And that's important.
It's,
Vegans
you know.
still like food. So it's not a case of they've just decided to eat bland food for the rest of their life. They still really like food. And that's part and parcel of why I wanted to do this episode was even
Right.
as a vegetarian, my family members, when it comes to these sort of important gatherings where food is a real focal point for the festivities, my family members, my friends are like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to cook for Jay. Like, what does she eat? What does she not eat?" So, do you have any pointers for people who might be hosting a vegan as to maybe something that they could make for Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, and that does happen a lot. I even find it with my mom, who I've been vegan almost 10 years now, but yeah, she's still a little worried about making food, or really gets worked up, and it's really a lot easier than you think. Really, the easiest thing you could do is to call our shop and redo a holiday
Right.
catering menu.
'Cause
So
you
I
do
have to say
catering,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So, check out the website and just find that and order from us, and then you don't have to worry about it at all. But no, even, I was thinking before you called about, some of the ideas, and really, as far as Thanksgiving goes, the stuffing is, you can completely do, and that's very easy. The stuffing is just the same. You do the same thing. You wouldn't use, some people put eggs in there. You wouldn't use the eggs. But it's really just using like a vegetable broth, and use the same seasonings, and you just make sure it's you know make sure it's wet enough. You don't want to put it in the oven and it turns into a hockey puck. But that happens with any dressing with people. But that's just a very simple thing you can do, and stuffing. Wow, bam, there you got it. Gravy, they actually make now, and you can find it at really any grocery store, like non-meat, like bouillon cubes, and you can make gravies with those, and that's a really easy thing to do at home. You just, a couple cups of water, the bouillon cubes to taste, and then you can just thicken it up with a roux, which is just oil and flour, and throw some mushrooms or some sauteed onions in there, and you've got an easy gravy, which is completely vegan. So those are two real basic, easy. Everyone is going to want to eat these things, and you don't have to stray too far from your recipe. You just kind of leave out the milk, or the eggs, and there you have it. Mashed potatoes is another real easy one. Instead of using your milk and butter, we use at the shop. I pretend. I'm not pretend. I like to use. I'm sorry. Prefer instead of pretend. I prefer to use soy milk. So with that, I feel like it gives a better consistency to the potatoes. And they also sell Earth Balance, which is a vegan butter, and you can use that Earth Balance, and they sell that at all local grocery stores too. And you can just add soy milk and the butter and salt and pepper, and you just whip them up, and there you have it.
Never know the difference. Yep.
Very, very easy. Right. Now sometimes, like the mains though, and even it's to stick with potatoes too. My mom loves the twice baked potatoes, and we do that as well. And a lot of times you can find these products. You don't have to make your own, like tofu sour cream. You can find these things at grocery stores. So you can buy a little container of tofu sour cream, and you just make your mashed potatoes and throw the sour cream in there, and then you put that back into your sound easy to you? Yeah, you
Yep.
can do that,
I'm
right?
like, I'm salivating over here already. Like, come on.
I know Thanksgiving is great, really. You know, it's we love it here at home, and the kids get a kick out of it. There's just you just make a bunch, make a bunch of everything and dive in,
Mhm.
Um, but some people do have issues kind of with the mains because you don't have like turkey anymore, right?
Mhm.
You don't eat turkey, and I was never a big fan of those tofurkeys at at the
With the
grocery
like
store.
the
Those
toothpicks and the little like fake paper things that they put on the toothpicks. It is just a big lump of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It just never. I don't know. Maybe I never cooked it right, but I never really loved um, loved that. But we make like a veggie lasagna,
Oh, nice.
which can work. And you just layer your pan with the veggie noodles with lasagna noodles, and you can do kale and mushrooms and squash and gosh, what eggplant, whatever vegetables you got, just do layers of that in between. And sometimes I use tofu instead of ricotta cheese.
Mhm.
Crumble tofu up, and I'll season the tofu with some lemon juice. And I'm not sure if you're familiar or your listeners are familiar with nutritional yeast, but that kind of acts as a Parmesan cheese kind of. If you buy a little bit of nutritional yeast, it adds that kind of cheesy flavor
Oh, okay.
to things without having the dairy. So I'll throw some of that on there and a little bit of basil or oregano in there and kind of mix the tofu up and crumble. And then I'll layer, and sometimes a little balsamic, reduced balsamic vinegar in there, and crumble that up and throw that in as a layer on top of the vegetables and then your sauce, and then do that a couple times, and that really, I was craving that earlier today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and with the squash element, that really does give it that kind of fall, harvesty sort of taste as well. So
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah, and we just had some acorn squash that I just roasted off, and we just also did some butternut squash, and any of those, you can even make those into kind of like a mashed potato. If you mix that with some sweet potatoes and just mash those up with some of the earth balance, and we throw in some ginger and cinnamon and a little bit of maple syrup, and that is to die for.
Mm,
That's one of our favorite dishes as well.
awesome. And it's interesting when I was sort of reading up about the Cleveland Vegan Cafe. It's actually you guys are going to be coming up on your 4-year anniversary. Is that right, or is it 3?
Yeah, yeah, can believe it. Four at this location. We were doing catering from another location for 2 years previous, but yes, we'll be at this location for this will be our 4th year.
Yeah, and you've recently expanded this summer. You sort of bought the unit next door, so you.
We did. In fact, just this week we finally opened. We took over the storefront to the east of us and added some more seats and extended our bakery, and it looks really nice. Thank goodness.
It's great. It's great because it's so hard in restaurant business to be able to have that longevity. You obviously have a really good product, and certainly these kinds of choices are growing ever more popular. I'm so glad I'm in Cleveland because there seems to be a lot of restaurants, a lot of stores that really cater for vegan and vegetarianism, and so it's really kind of easy to do that now. I think maybe 15, 20 years ago it was a little bit tougher to make those
Right.
choices,
That's
but I think
exactly.
and
That's
and so it's
exactly
great
right.
to see a local business and a local business owners couple thrive. So do you have any sort of Thanksgiving things planned at the cafe?
So yes, yeah, we do a Thanksgiving catering menu which you can find online, and there are appetizers and sides and main dishes and desserts. Obviously, you have to have desserts, and we even do a single serving Thanksgiving plate. A lot of people call and just want to get one serving or two for a couple people,
Mm-hmm.
and normally we just do these other courses for 4 to 6 people or 8 to 10. So we decided to add another version to that, and If you are interested, please go to our website at clevelandvegan.com, and you can go into the menus section, and we'll have our holiday menus up. And but please order soon, because every year, well, at least the last 2 years, we've had to cut the orders early because so many people have ordered. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Justin, co-founder of the Cleveland Vegan. You can check out their storefront and their cafe at Detroit Avenue in Lakewood, or as he said, check out their website, clevelandvegan.com. You guys post your menus. I follow you guys on Instagram. You guys make me hungry all the time. So thank you so much, Justin, for joining us.
AJ, thanks for calling. We really appreciate you spreading the word.
On November 24th, there's a great lineup of local bands at the Grog Shop, including the Sweepyheads, Punch Drunk Tagalongs, Detroit's Deadbeat Beat, and these guys, the Dreemers. That's with 2 E's, from Akron.
Come to my house. Tell me what I see. I see a boy coming round, tearing up his work for free. This one ain't free, darling. You got to know better than that. This one ain't for you or me, honey. You got to know better than that. Driving my car, tell me where we been. I see a girl coming round, round, round once again. This one ain't free, darling. You got to know better than that. This one ain't for you or me, honey. You got to know better than that. Oh, what you got to know? You have got to know better than that. You boys have got to know better than to come to my house and to dig up my land. I say, goddamn, I don't care if you're white, blue, black, or orange. No man will plant his seed on my land. You have got to know better than that. You have got to know better. You boys have got to know better than that. You have got to know better. You have got to know better than that.
That was the Dreemers from Akron with Better Than That off their 2017 release, Beach Mode. Grab it off their Bandcamp. And that's it for this week. Big thanks to Justin from Cleveland Vegan Café and Catering. Make sure you check out their website, clevelandvegan.com, for Thanksgiving and Christmas menus, and to the Wildflowers and the Dreemers for the music. You've been listening to the Cool CLE Show, brought to you by CoolCleveland.com. Have a good one.